Inappropriate anger is scary and wrong. Some individuals close to the person exhibiting inappropriate anger will make excuses for them or try to justify some of their behavior. However, when neighbors, employers, employees, courts, attorneys for the victim, and family members of the victim learn about the act of inappropriate anger, the offender is immediately stereotyped. Many offenders fit many parts of the stereotype. That will be discussed later. On the other hand, there are many who admit they made a mistake and take steps to make sure the inappropriate behavior stops. The list of personality traits associated with domestic violence is long. The belief that these traits define the individual often influence decisions regarding jobs, custody of children, and reputations in a community. For those who continue to practice the stereotype and for those who make excuses for them, life usually continues to be a struggle, oftentimes resulting in more pain, shame, and chaos. Those who don't believe they fit this stereotype, yet exhibited inappropriate anger in the past, must take action to change their behavior by taking specific steps that provide proof that the inappropriate anger is now healthy anger and is long-lasting. By practicing these steps, others, over time, will be able to understand that this individual does not fit the stereotype. I asked those referred to my offenders group this question: what do the people outside this room think of you now that you are here? How are you stereotyped? This question has been asked numerous times over my years of working with court-referred offenders. Many of the group members believe their community does not think they will ever change, or that the offender usually denies there is a problem. In fact, many group members recognized their part in the problem and felt remorse for what happened. They realized the impact it not only had on the victim, but also on their children, relatives, and neighbors. It is true that the stereotype fits for a portion of the population, but definitely not for all. There are many reasons inappropriate anger takes place. Once it happens, many offenders are ashamed and embarrassed by what happened and want to do what is necessary to make sure inappropriate anger becomes a thing of the past. Often police aren't involved and the offender takes steps to make sure he or she learns and practices more appropriate ways to issues that may lead to anger. Many people have strong feelings about someone arrested for domestic violence or inappropriate anger, including offenders. Offenders in my groups listed many of the traits they think are stereotypes of offenders. Many also believe the stereotype does not accurately describe them. Others acknowledge acting or thinking in some of these ways and take steps to change. Still others, unfortunately, are the stereotype. They usually fail in the programs and stay involved with the courts. The following slides have the long list of traits the men in my groups believe are associated with someone who has or had a history of domestic violence or inappropriate anger. Many of the traits are very accurate. However, for those who take ownership and want to make sure healthy, safe anger is the norm, change will take place and the traits are extinguished. Although the first stereotype is that it is a male, it is important to know that women are also involved in domestic violence as well as other forms of inappropriate anger. I'm not defending or blaming either gender. What is most important is that inappropriate anger is recognized and stopped, and that healthy, safe anger is practiced. Here is the list. It's a man, he's violent, it happens a lot, he justifies his violence, he has a history of beating women, he doesn't respect women, he thinks of women more in terms of sex and duty, he sees women more as property and objects, he sees women as game pieces, he lies when asked about abuse, he doesn't care about a woman's feelings, he is abusive physically, mentally, emotionally, sexually, and economically. Once an abuser, always an abuser. He's not a real man. He's a user, selfish. He will likely cheat. He has other problems like alcohol or drugs. He minimizes or denies he has a problem. He threatens with body language. He hurts women to feel better, to be in charge. As a man, he believes he has a right to be dominant. He doesn't trust women. He yells to get what he wants. He threatens to get his way. He thinks women are snitches. He thinks women are scandalous. He often makes comments like, "Women know how to push a man's buttons." He stalks physically through a cell phone, Facebook, and other ways. He considers women to be stupid or ignorant. He believes women are emotional and dramatic. He does not consider violence, cheating, name-calling, or threats to be that bad. However, if she does something similar, it is. He won't let them call for help, will hold them hostage. He does things to keep the woman away from family and friends. He denies them their freedom. He intimidates them. He humiliates them in front of others. He is vulgar around women. He is short-tempered. He believes women are cop callers. He believes women are troublemakers. He threatens with facial expressions. He will comment that women sometimes deserve to be abused. He uses language that makes a woman feel worthless. He is dismissive and considers women weak. He's out of control. He is crazy and mentally unstable. He has the potential to be a killer. He often refers to women by a name that the woman would consider negative, such as bitch, pig, slut, cunt, etc. He supports bad-mouthing women when others are doing it. He thinks if he abuses her, she should not call the police or get help. He uses a negative or angry tone when talking to keep people on edge. The stereotype is quick to make excuses and point out the victim's flaws. The worst offenders feel justified with their anger. Many who are required to attend a domestic violence program are angry at the system, the police, their partner, and themselves. The resolve to change is often determined at this point.